Hey everybody, what is going on? I hope you guys are all doing well, and welcome to another tutorial video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get a cinematic look of your video in Davinci Resolve, so let's get right into it. Now, what we're going to be playing around with is color grading, so we're going to go into the color tab right here, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add a new corrector node just to add it to the timeline here so that I'll have two nodes to play around with. Now I'm going to use this here node for color grading and everything else, and I'm going to use this node here for a LUT. And let me just immediately just put a LUT on the second node. I'm going to go into the film looks LUT folder or LUT subfolder, and I'm going to search for the LUT that I like the best. Now, as you can see, they already look pretty cinematic. It just depends on what kind of look you want. I think this first one will fit me just perfectly, and I'm just going to double click on that, and now the LUT is applied to the second one. And now, as you can see, it already looks a bit more cinematic, but I still am not satisfied with how it looks. So I'm just going to double click on the first node, and here we're going to go into color grading. Firstly, what I'm going to do is play around with the color wheels, the primaries, and I'm gonna increase the lift a little bit, maybe increase the gamma, maybe the gain as well. It really depends on what you want your video to look like, but you can just play around with these settings, and as you can see, you are already changing, and you can see the changes here, and you can just set it up to look like what you want. Let me just increase the temperature a bit. Let's say, for example, 180, and maybe a bit less, 160 is enough. Tint, I'm gonna keep it at 0. I'm gonna increase the contrast a bit, about 150, 1.150 should be enough. I'm gonna increase the saturation a bit as well. I think that looks a bit more cinematic. The pivot really isn't that important. The mid detail I'm gonna increase so that it looks a bit better. I'm gonna put it at around 68, why not? And here you can see already that it looks a bit different. Now, it doesn't look as good as it did before, in my opinion, so I'm just gonna lower some of these options. For example, I'm gonna put the gain back on 1 where it already was, and I'm gonna maybe lower the offset a bit, and yeah, let's say this is what I want it to look like. I can then go ahead and play with the curves, and I don't know, pull this around maybe. And as you can see, I've isolated the horse, and let's say that is the option I'm satisfied with. You can go to the hue saturation color warper and maybe just play around with the saturation a bit of different hues. You can also go into HDR, and here you have the dark, the shadow, the light, the global. You can just modify that however you want. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go into the blur section and make sure the radius is between 0.35 and 0.45, since that increases the detail a bit. Actually, I'm going to put it at 0.41, and as you can see, in my opinion, that looks a lot more cinematic than our original video did. And yeah, as you can see, it looks sort of like this, and you can play around with your options to see what looks best. I think this looks pretty cinematic in my opinion, however your opinion might differ. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in another video.